Tabletop
we're
to
on.
keyboard. Boom.
Woo!
I
That was a
just,
surprise.
I just cold opened them. I didn't tell them we were going live.
Woo!
You didn't
Good
say
thing I
nothing.
wasn't
did
We
you?
talking
were
about something
talking
horrible.
t-shirts.
It just
and,
went down.
Man, shit just happened.
We were talking t-shirts.
You about all got like behind the scenes footage of what goes on around here before we
Talking about-
start.
Was that on there? Was us talking about that on there?
Is
No.
Buster Rhymes still
No.
relevant?
Thank you
Oh,
for
thanks for
following though,
following,
Fragilities.
Hey, thanks.
So this
Appreciate
is
it.
our.
We haven't even done anything worth getting a follow. You're so generous.
Cold opens. They're
I-
worth it.
I don't
Cold
know if
open,
this
we were
game
talking
is.
about
Yeah.
bullshit.
I don't, I don't know if this is a bi-monthly game or a bi-weekly game, but every other Wednesday we get together for some Vampire the Masquerade.
It's summer's falling apart game is what's happening.
It is.
Summer's
Right.
making everything fall apart.
The sun comes out, the night hours are short. Vampires decide to take about a month and a half off, apparently. So we've had a string of events that have caused us not to be here, but we're here tonight for
The opposite of 30
iKindred,
Days of Night.
Chapter 8, Prestigiae, which I'm pretty sure is how you say that. It's Latin for ghost. And so,
First.
and the reason why it is titled that tonight is you can see you in the chat have a new option. As always, for 100 bits, you can make second sire or child or whatever he is, Taper, show up and torment second. Or for the same 100 bits instead, you can now torment Thomas Weller because he's a medium. And so
I see dead people.
he sees dead people. So now that that's a thing, we are going to have our players who are able to make it here tonight introduce their characters. We may or may not be graced with the presence of Jeff before we're done. We're not sure. That'll throw the overlays off. It'll be
One
fun
and only
times.
Nathan Dirty Sanchez.
Our Brewhaw's not here, so he's got the Clan Brewhaw symbol there over his little picture. But in the
I
meantime,
haven't said that till now.
we do have...
You should have been here.
Yeah, that's right. We have players returning, and boy, unless you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, it's been a while. So why don't we talk a little bit about who these characters are? So, Boffrin, you get to lead off this week since Jeff's not around. Tell us a little bit about Thomas Weller.
Thomas, let's just say he's had an interesting life. He's able to buy in a lot easier to a lot of things that other people wouldn't and might shy away from. Could have been come up in a bit of a cult. That just happen to kind of worship vampires as a god.
Like
is
you
what
do.
it seems like at this point. And what happens when the thing you were taught was God, turns out to be real, and you've become one.
Party.
It's not bad.
And that's
Not
where
a bad place
Thomas
to
is
be.
sitting still.
Throw a party.
Oh, and a recent bout of exploring the inner madness within to keep the secrets away from the elders who would pry into his mind.
There's always elders out there prying.
Freaking elders.
Five dots and crowbar. Mental crowbars. So,
Those are good. Those are good.
we're gonna skip
Cannon,
me
he
here.
just said we can get that skill, y'all. He just said we can get
The
$5
mental
crowbar.
5 dots
man.
and mental crowbar. And speaking of mental crowbars, we're gonna skip me here on the overlay and go over here to Levi, who's playing second. Tell us a little bit about second and his mental crowbarring abilities.
Okay. I'll try and shorten this up, which is a skill I have not perfected. Step one,
Put a hole in the
computer
box.
hacker in life and secretly make an AI with a guerrilla style cell operation of global hackers. Then realize the AI is evil and start setting fire to a bunch of buildings across America. And then get turned into a vampire and then find out the guy that made you made another one of him. And then you also made the AI, but there's another one. So everything is broken and nothing is real. So I'm just going to wreck this van again.
Mental crowbar.
Mental crowbar.
Down at the end of our overlay, Cameron has returned to us after an even longer break than the rest of us because he
It
was
was
at
quite
the
a long
previous
break,
game.
yes. It was quite a long
Playing his character Omar Vasquez. So tell us a little about Omar.
Sure. Omar, he's not real great in social situations all the time, but he's actually really great at putting stuff together in the background. So he's a big fan of things like pyramid schemes, or you might know them as what was the word? I forget.
Mid-level marketing. I think.
Mid-level marketing. So
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing.
And
That's it.
he believes that they are real and work. So he likes to create some of them of his own. He also always likes a good idea. He was trying to make a place that I don't remember what my original name was, but apparently it was a real thing, so we didn't use it. And now it's called Hemoglobal. Oh, it was Blood Hub.
It was Blood Hub. Turns
Apparently,
out
Blood Hub
Hub's
is a real thing.
It is.
So we don't use that.
Used
We're
it
using
today to order
Hemoglobal.
platelets. It's a real thing.
I'm just gonna order me up some platelets.
I did.
So-
I did a thing. It happened.
Yeah, he's trying to get that off the ground. Just found out some interesting information. Doesn't really know where it's gonna go yet, but sounds like nothing matters anymore. So he's just gonna do what he wants.
All right. I am Dustin, your storyteller, and once again, this is iKindred, Chapter 8, Prestigiae. When we left off, the group had been, well, I was trying to remember. I had to go back and watch part of it, a couple of episodes. I was trying to remember whether or not Omar had been brought into the group.
I'm trying to remember if I missed. Did I miss the
We
last
called
game, or
him
did I
up.
miss the game before last game?
Yeah, I think
Because we've had so many.
I think you were brought in finally, and
Well,
then they
I
had to
found
do
out-
the psychosurgery on Thomas Weller. I believe is where we had kind of left.
That's
off.
where I was at.
And you
That's
were there
where I
for
was
that.
at.
So that's
I
when
was
you
there
were
for
all
that.
brought in.
Yes.
Correct.
It was the game before that.
Yeah, I had to
that's when
take
everything
a
went down.
madness lobotomy, right?
The madness lobotomy that second had to perform on you.
That's right, because we've been
Madness
tasked with some.
assistance.
Assistance
With some,
program. Yes.
Less than sane. Well, no, because that's kind of
And-
a pejorative.
A soft
I think
reset.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. It's kind of like a DC reboot.
A sabbatical from sanity.
So what they found is that there's an Elysium coming up in a couple of days, and Boffrin's character Thomas was kind of important for because they needed him to meet the Tremere Primogen, who goes by the name of Anatoly, and something particular about Clan Tremere is that they use a lot of rituals and a lot of sorcery, we'll call it, for lack of a better term.
We're gonna
And-
bone Thomas.
And the sires are a little concerned that with Thomas knowing that their sires are either part of or conspiring heavily with the Sabbat, that they are put the entire mission in danger. Now,
It was dangerous anyway.
it was a little dangerous already. Now they have concerns that the secrets will not be safe inside of Thomas Weller's head, and so they somewhat strong-armed second into going in and using his powers of dementation to make Thomas a little more crazy than he already was. And while he was in there, and after performing a Valdery where they all bloodbound themselves to each other, they also may have jarred a few things loose inside of Thomas that allows him to now fully utilize his merit of medium. And thus, chat, if you would like to inflict ghost upon Thomas, you may do so for 100 bits. You just have to tell me what the ghost is. So, without any further ado, the group
Do you?
will have
Remember,
left.
chat, this will be real spirits. These aren't like, just straight up hallucinations, kids. These are the real deal.
These are the real deal. I mean, I don't have wraith sheets for them, but I could be persuaded. So what we're going to say here is at the end time is that Nathan has to stay behind with his sire, who he just had a
Just give every wraith outrage 5.
outrage
That's telekinesis. That's telekinesis across
Yeah.
That's get off my train, shove.
Shove.
They actually get shoved. Yeah.
That's right. So Nathan has to stay behind to have a little talk with his sire, who you've all come to learn is actually the bishop for the Sabbat. You have all conducted your first rite as members of the Sabbat and have basically been sent back to your rundown haunt that you rented from another member of Clan Nosferatu, DK Moore. You are currently in the banged up van of Second, driving through the streets on your way back, when Omar gets another message from Natalie Giovanni.
We're
I
friends.
pull over in an alleyway and I swap out the magnets on the van. We are now Tasty Cakes. We got all that cake.
Okay. So Second gets out. He starts swapping decals off of it, and while you're sitting there and he's trying to redisguise the van, you get this ping on your phone.
I should look at that.
It says, "We need to talk."
Great. I love conversation. I'm really good at them.
This guy.
It sends you an address.
This seems like somewhere I shouldn't go alone. Who wants to come with me? No volunteers. Guess it's just me.
I'll go. I got you.
You know, I mean, you got, I'll tap the Second on the shoulder. You were good enough to sit there and give me the, hopefully enough fortitude to stave off too much of a mental probe.
You're welcome.
Oh, come along.
Side quest.
I think this will be one of the few times where you get someone who will say thank you for what you did.
I appreciate your thank you. You're a valued member of the staff of Tasty Cakes. I want you to know we value your skills. All right. Just tell me where we're going. And
Wait.
I'm juggling a lot. I'm quantifying. I need to get out hold on. Just tell me where we're going. And then while you guys see that, I
He's
check
frozen,
around
I
to see
think.
if any watching. I'm
I
frozen.
can hear you.
We hear you,
but
but
then you're making this
frozen.
face.
You get the most
I am?
serious. You get the
You
most
have the
serious,
best face.
like
Serious. It's
teacher
great.
yelling at their student face thing going on
I
right
love
now.
it.
Like,
Oh,
it's-
that's fantastic.
it's
I
quality.
can't wait.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
That needs
there
to
we
be
go.
good.
Now you're back.
I just checked it out. That's sweet. I planned that. So I'm gonna.
Here, I'll punch it in. Put it in
Yeah,
the
that's
GPS.
That's great. I'm gonna check around to make sure no one can see that we're not really under any sort of camera observation. And now I'm gonna put my phone on airplane. I'm gonna disconnect it from anything. I'm just gonna shut it off. And then I'm gonna crack out paper and pen and a clipboard and start writing out plans and drive.
Okay. You punch in the coordinates, and it comes up with a local winery.
That seems right.
Levi's frozen again. This is awesome.
Yep.
Man, I'm frozen again?
Oh no,
Nope,
you
now you're
stopped. So you punch it in, and it's out like on the outskirts of town, a rather decent sized facility as far as you can tell.
Buffer and found tasty cake.
Did you really?
It really is.
Everything we make up
What
is
is up
already
with you
real.
guys?
It's just like we can't
I
do
think it's like
right or wrong.
Entenmann's.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it's an
I love it.
Entenmann's thing.
It's a real thing. That's amazing.
Well, mine is spelled 2 words with a C.
Sure it is.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, you punch in the coordinates and you see that as far as the GPS map is concerned, you're heading to a local winery.
Fantastic. I'm super excited to meet this person.
So you drive through out to the edge of town, and as you get out near the edge of town, it's you have to go past a few fields, everything else. You start to come to an area where you start to see that there's a field of what you would be able to recognize as grape vineyards.
This all makes sense.
I'm looking up vineyards.
You're looking at vineyards.
Yes.
You it's dark, it's night. It's hard to tell for sure how far they go back, but you can see there's definite rows of the with the poles and everything for the vines to all grow on, everything else, and you can tell they're spaced out apart, almost the way that here in the Midwest you see like pumpkin patches are put together, or the way that orchards are designed. Only it's all grapes. You eventually pull up to a large building. It has a large hall-like attached to it, and what appears to be a normal shop. It's definitely closed this time of night. There's not a lot of other vehicles there. There is a gate that is currently opened, which seems a little strange to you. The place seems to have a fair amount of security. As you roll up to it, you can see there are cameras on the post, things of that nature. Seems kind of normal, modern, not state of the art, but state of the art enough for modern security.
Great. Let's.
Omar, what are we doing?
Let me find out.
Omar,
I text the lady back.
this is
Here,
your
where should I meet
op.
you? Uh-huh.
You are the chief baker of Tasty Cakes on this job. You have to tell me what we are doing.
Great.
Great.
I'm figuring that out.
Okay, so you message back, and it says the gate is open.
We are driving through. Drive through the gate.
Driving.
You pull through. As you pull through the gate, you hear the automated gates close behind you.
That's not ominous at all.
You roll on up to the front of the place, and you can see there's what looks like wait staff there waiting for you. Most of the lights are out.
I know that I'm hideous, so I'm gonna mask of 1,000 faces that still just looks like me, but just not awful.
Okay, so maybe a slightly closer to what you looked like in before
not
death,
wrinkly,
sort
not
of.
scarry, not
Yeah. All right.
not hideous.
Okay.
I'm still not attractive, but
All right.
instead of an appearance 0 where I scare children, maybe I have a 1, maybe a 2.
Omar,
Yeah,
you have to learn to love yourself. No one's going to do it for you.
I do, but not everyone else does.
Omar, if you can make yourself look like anything, why would you choose to be unattractive?
What? Look how much better I look.
Yes. Okay, let's go.
you guys pile out of the van, and you see one of the wait staff comes over and holds his hand out.
like he's gonna shake it, or like he wants $1.
Like he wants to go park your van for you.
Oh,
I give him 5.
He kind of looks at his hand.
I think we're good here.
He kinda
Where is my vehicle going to be taken?
He doesn't speak. He just kind of points to the first empty parking spot.
Thank you, my good man. Good help is so hard to find these days. You are a wonderful envoy of this gracious host. And then I turn around and park my own van.
He stands there and watches you. He kind of motions to the others towards the door.
Then I meet everybody at the door.
We're going in, and we're
guys
definitely
wait.
not gonna die.
And I lock it up.
The other
And
one's
I wanna
standing there at
s-
the doors and opens the door for you when you get close and just holds the door open.
I'm gonna leave any kind of equipment on that can house Eve, and I want Eve to notify me if anybody gets into the van, like if anybody unlocks it and gets
Okay.
inside.
All right. You walk up there to the door, and the second one opens the door for you once you're all there. It says,
The second one, not
There's-
second.
yeah,
Just want to be
second,
clear
yes.
about that.
The other greeter, if you will, opens the door. Welcome to the vineyard, gracious lords.
The other gravely silent.
No, he's not
leader,
silent. He
I'm
talks.
assuming. Oh, okay.
Oh, he talks. He says, "Welcome to the vineyard, gracious lords."
Gee, thanks. This is great.
The mistress awaits you.
Fantastic. Can't wait to meet her.
Sunny disposition.
Omar, do I, Omar, do I need to know? Should I know? No, you know what? No. And I just keep going.
She just wants to talk to me. And she's probably not excited about the things we've been doing.
So you guys walk in, and once you're in, the two secure the doors behind you. They stand there at attention. About that time, you see ahead. There's what looks kind of like a really nice polished wood bar with some stools. There's clearly wine racks there behind it with all sorts of various bottles that have either been opened and emptied. Some are just purely decorative, but there's all sorts of stuff. It's kind of your standard modern day sort of winery kind of look feel to it. There's registers, tables are about everywhere. There's nobody at them because it's the middle of the night, but there you are nonetheless. And pretty soon there's a set of double doors back there that you would assume would take you back to some cellars or something else, and you see they kind of both swing back and forth a bit, and another waitstaff pushes through those doors and is followed by a very well-dressed business attire looking woman with a set of glasses and her hair pulled back into sort of like a ponytail of sorts almost. And she seems kind of all business as her heels clack as she walks, and she comes around the corner and takes a look up and goes, "Ah, you must be Omar. My name is
I
Natalie.
am.
Natalie Giovanni. It's nice to meet you. Come.
Hi, Natalie.
I'm glad that you and your associates were able to make it here on time. I hope you've found everything is in order."
As far as I can tell, everything seems great.
Good. So, it has come to my attention through our iKindred devices that you have gotten into the ring of blood distribution.
Yes, it was an idea I had, and I think it's gonna be great.
Boy, you look just like him.
I assume you mean...
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Is his name Grub?
Grub.
Grub. For some reason in my head it was Gruff. I was like, no, that's McGruff
Grub.
is the crime dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not McGruff. Grub.
Yeah. So I was like, that's not right.
I assume you mean grub. And I'm
Yes.
not sure that's a compliment, but thanks anyway.
I mean, you look like Grub before he... Well,
Oh. Well, that might not be as bad.
either way, you seem to have the same knack for acquisition and redistribution of our most valuable resource.
Seems valuable to me.
Now, here at the vineyard, of course, the vineyard is the winery here that the mortals partake in. That's a very important part of our processes, but I thought perhaps while you're here, a small tour would allow you to see that perhaps maybe we should not be in competition as me and Grub was, but maybe a new generation owner and a new generation owner could perhaps become allies in our endeavor to better control the
Friends
assets
are
of the
always
domain.
better than enemies.
Now, I think you have something that could be very valuable to me, and I think perhaps if you see my operation, you will see the value in joining my team.
I'm always open to selling a startup.
So come this way. Now, this, of course, as I said, this is the front. This is the winery. As it does operate, and it makes me a fair amount of money, but it's really not what the purpose of this establishment is. The real value, if you will, to me is, of course, contained below. She leads you back around the bar and more waitstaff opens up the double doors and leads you back into a back area where there is what appears to be a large door that goes clearly down into a cellar.
Fantastic.
As you walk down the long hallway that heads you here, you see there are what appears to be like family portraits in places, and they all appear to be like mortal family. Some of them look a little dated, but you very much get the sensation that there is that this is like a family-owned business. And as you're walking down the hall, she kind of motions towards them as she's walking past, not really stopping to look at them, just kind of motioning towards them, that telling you that this winery has been here for hundreds of years and has passed down from generation to generation to people in her family.
So you've been in this game for a while, huh?
My family's been in this game here since the beginning. She unlocks the doors and opens up the cellar down below. Come.
Torture chamber.
I'll show you. She kind of motions down towards the steps.
We'll go, because forever optimist. Everything's gonna be fine.
You walk down to the bottom and you find an extremely large wine cellar. Now, you are, from what I understand, newly acknowledged members of the domain under Prince Sebastian. Is this correct?
That is correct.
In this, you attempt to make a name for yourself in the blood acquisition and redistribution services.
Not necessarily a name, but certainly would like to gain some capital.
Now, I have attempted to hire... Well, let's just say that amongst our kind, it's hard to find... it's hard to find those of us who are experienced enough to create, well, the functionality of your app for iKindred is impressive.
Great.
Who made it for you?
Hold off, Omar. So basically, right now what you have is an abundance of supply, but a lack of modernized distribution that makes it easier to access your clientele.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And in a very short period of time, Omar here has put together a much better model for iKindred than what my people have been able to put together in a decade.
Fantastic.
Well, you know, fresh blood does tend to sit there and
Now,
is a bit sweeter, is it not?
what
Me and my
you-
team worked hard on it.
What you have in marketing there, you lack an actual product, though. Don't get me wrong. You've followed in your sire's footsteps well, going out, finding a mass amount of people that you have at your disposal to bring to and fro, probably through Ubers, taxis, things of the sort. But those are a lot of complications involved with that sort of distribution. Now see, what we have here at the Vineyard is one of the oldest blood wine facilities in the entire East Coast. My family, the Giovanni, we are apolitical in the wars between the Camarilla and the Sabbat. We like to have friends in all places. It's a time-honored tradition passed down from my mama and my papa that we stay mostly neutral. But this gets to be rather difficult in times of strife, and when things such as an Elysium, let's say, to roll around. Sometimes we are not always invited. So it's always good, perhaps, to have a business partner who is official.
I see.
Now, with your access to Elysium, and your access thus to the upper echelon of kindred within the Camarilla, you would be a valuable partner to me with your distribution capabilities that I do not possess. In the meantime, I know from my family's records most of the finicky eaters. I know who they are, and I know what they need to eat. And I know what they will pay to get it. And I have a much bigger head start on you in acquiring all the various different peoples needed. And I know the process by which to make blood wine, where the much needed vitae of mortals is infused through a time-honored process, allowing our kind to enjoy the same thrills that the mortals do up in the actual winery above.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like you're offering to manufacture if I work on distribution.
Yes, precisely.
Fantastic. What are you willing to offer?
Well, we will have to do a little reworking with your whoever your technology person is. We'll need to work on the logo and the name and maybe some of the color schemes a bit.
We here at Fresh Blood want to offer you the very best in branding opportunities, and we want to take very seriously your product, bring it to the modern age with a classy homage to the time-honored product that you have spent so long perfecting. We want you to know that Fresh Blood honors the old ways.
Fresh Blood. That's your
That's our yes.
Oh.
Fresh Blood Studios.
Fresh Blood Studios.
FBS.
FBS. And she kind of looks over at an assistant who's standing there, and he's like writing this down. FBS. Okay, got it.
While this is going on, I'm going on and I'm now creating on my phone during this conversation a website and all pertinent social media contacts for Fresh Blood Studios on all the iKindred stuff. And
just
backdating it 5 years.
Wits plus computers. Wits plus computers difficulty 7.
It all gets filtered back through my assistant Eve. Wits computers, you say? Because I have a sheet and it does stuff. And what's my difficulty?
7.
And do 10s explode?
Yes, they do.
Damn right.
Okay.
$27.
6.
$27.
Okay, so you're just
fucking exists.
just a pecking away with your thumbs, and you're doing some swiping, and you look like you're taking notes for Omar. But what you're really
Very
doing
pertinent.
is putting this whole thing together while she's busy dealing with
And
what?
I use a podcast code and I work it through Squarespace.
Ooh.
This stream is brought to you by Squarespace.
No, it's not.
Second way, I hear this load of malarkey coming out. So, what type of web backend do you have that would be able to be interfaced into at this point? I mean, is there anything that's usable and modern in here? It's taken you folks 10 years to get to where you are. Do you mind if we take a look at what you have existing already?
For the product?
Well, not the product, but at this point, the website. We need to be able to assess, if there's anything that can be salvaged on your end. Otherwise,
She walks
it's a
over
whole
and
bunch of front end.
she flips around a laptop computer that's sitting there on a desk and pops it open, and
GeoCity
And-
site.
yeah, she's got a website put together that's for the winery itself that looks fairly novice. It's not great. I mean, it's kind of looks like one of those kind of like when you do a standard Google search for businesses and you find like some half shit website with like a couple of Yelp reviews or whatever on it, and there's a picture of the building at the front and like a list of upcoming events and activities and how to book this place, and a small list of products, and then then I mean it would suffice for a mortal business. It's not, obviously that's not the primary thing that they do here, but it's serviceable. And then there's
I look in the upper right-hand corner of the address bar to see if they have a lock bar there.
no.
No.
Oh no! Yeah. Second, you may want to take a look.
How
Well-
soon are you comfortable with us starting a working relationship on the presentation side of things? Do you mind me just putting in some simple setup and security on your end, please?
Well,
Please.
my understanding is that would be needed if we were to incorporate your hemoglobal app to our.
Pro bono right now, as a gesture of good faith from Fresh Blood Studios and our services, how about we offer you a simple security upgrade free of charge as a token of our respect to your product?
Well, here, let me barter with you. And she walks over and she pulls out a couple of bottles. You see the server grabs a couple of glasses. Now,
This is very nice, but I really want to fix the problems you don't understand you could be already having.
oh, by all means, yes, please.
Great! So I go in and I do everything I can to secure location, information, transactions, so it's all more
Wait, is
comfortable.
that actually secure or
I'm building backdoors in
air
everything.
quote secure?
Yeah,
I'm building
yeah,
I build backdoors
securing.
into everything.
Yeah.
Everything is backdoored into Eve, and Eve is going to start building a log of all information.
All right. So you backdoor in. That's intelligence plus computers. This will be another 7. This is not going to be hard to do. And I'm sure you're going to pass with flying colors. But
Yeah, I'm gonna pass with flying colors. Well, anytime I use computers, I get -2 to the difficulty.
yeah, I know.
7 successes.
Yeah. So yeah, you got this whole thing going, and you've got everything, and you start pulling off transactions and everything else, and you can already see the little like screens and everything that you're putting back in there are already starting to tabulate up information, and you know it's running. You don't have time to really look through the information.
is adding a few more pleats today.
You get all of that set up.
Why
Well-
we're concerned about your security is right now, you've got locks on your door, right, to prevent undesireds from coming in.
Of course.
Right now, the way you have your website presented, it's basically as if you left your front doors open.
Oh well.
And I'm not sure if your development team has any idea about modern security protocols, since it took you 10 years to get to this stage.
Well, I mean,
We're not trying to insult anyone. We understand it's
Yeah.
in the nature of this life that the news slides by very quickly. That's why we at Fresh Blood want to honor our elders for the respect they've given us and let us walk this earth.
well,
We want to walk with you.
with the introduction of iKindred by Prince Sebastian, Mama decided to take an extended nap. So operations have passed from her to me. So being brought in as the next heiress, I suppose, to the blood wine industry of New Haven, I have, of course, been trying to update those very processes that Mama just simply did not care much for.
Well, I'm glad we can be here and hopefully work together to make this work for you. I feel like, though, instead of integrating hemoglobal, maybe we should use the long-standing branding that you already have and build a similar platform that works like hemoglobal, but then it has all of your information and all of your history, which is really the selling point of your product.
But then wouldn't we be in the competition?
Oh
Well,
no, if we went
that's
in
the
to work
best
together, I would close down hemoglobal, of course.
You would close
No,
down
no,
hemoglobin?
you don't need to close down hemoglobal. You see, if everything costs the same and the supply comes from the same place, then doesn't the favor accrue?
It's true.
And then occasionally you just make it look like there's some competition.
That's true. Then, if there's two in the game, and there's ever a third competitor, it should be very easy to work them out.
Basically, the older clientele might like the establishment of the brand, but some of the younger ones may prefer something that feels like it's a little more modern and
That's a good point.
in with their generation, so to speak.
It's like TikTok versus MySpace.
I see.
But of course, it would be a joint union.
Yes, of course, a joint union. So, if we wish to make an announcement that the Vineyard is going live with an iKindred app, could you have it ready in time for Elysium in a couple of nights?
Absolutely.
I'm sure we could.
Good. Then the only thing left to do is for you to acquire a +1 invite for me to accompany you to Elysium.
I'm sure that'll be simple. Omar has no fucking
She
clue.
reaches over and she kind of grabs your cheek. She goes, "I knew I could count on you, my dear."
Now, what we haven't talked about yet is distribution of profits. How might we do that? What would you recommend?
Well, now, of course, the actual profits, there are various currencies.
Sure.
Now, me, as a non-standing member, who's not a member of the Camarilla, I cannot hold status within your organization. Thus, I am at a disadvantage, because I cannot offer you standing for your services. That you would have to work through your local sheriff or harpy. Now, what
However,
I can do...
You do have to receive compensation for what you provide. And, favors are favors, are they not?
Yes. So we have to work strictly for boons.
That's great. I would prefer it.
Now, I know that in order to try to compete with me, that your sire had accumulated quite the boon debt.
He did.
And I was going to offer to help you remove that debt, but records show that you have already released yourself from such debts.
We're a clean slate.
This is unfortunate for me. It puts me at a disadvantage here at the bargaining table.
Unfortunately for you, it does.
Now, so...
Now, you do provide you do have a unique service and resource we don't have as great an access to at this point.
And what is
You
that?
already have an established herd, where in this case you have cattle, and we have none on the ranch.
Well, now...
Or
Oh,
a
we
small
do.
amount.
My sources suggest that that Grubb's herds have been slowly being realigned with Omar. That'd be
They
correct.
have.
I do keep
We're
an
doing
eye on
okay.
the coming and going of local mortal stocks. In particular, those who fit the needs of our most influential clientele in the Camarilla. Now, through my time here, much like you, I too have acquired that which has been left for me by my mama. What mama lacked in vision, she made up for it with a shrewd business sense. So I have a fair number of boons owed through emergency situations where mama was contacted. For many of the more influential kindred in town, the question is, which ones would you need to get you to the table?
All right, as a player, I don't really know how all this Camarilla stuff works that great, so I'm assuming there's probably some people we know of, vampires we know of, that could... So I don't want to do, like, meteoric rise, because that's way too suspicious. But, like, who would be, like, basically someone that could get us, like, if there's a chain of 10 to the upper echelon, like, what gets me one link up the chain? What gets me maybe 2 links up the chain? Like, I don't,
Okay.
like I said, and over time, raise. But I don't want to just be like, walked in and I'm the guy, you know?
The serpent that hisses loudly is the first one that gets its head squashed. We, don't seek to go too far beyond us, but, perhaps one of the things we could use is a more permanent establishment.
Oh,
So
that
that
was
way,
good. I don't know who he just quoted, but
yeah.
that was really good.
Yeah.
We could use establishing a place, and as someone who lives within the Pax Neutralis of the city here, you perhaps may know some information that would be a little more handy for us, as in having an idea of what territory could be open.
Oh, well, I guess I had misplaced that Sanchez would have probably secured you somewhere to go by now.
It's always good to have options, is it not?
His sire Tyrone is most certainly influential in town. I would have thought he would have secured you a place already.
Well, we have a place.
We can be honest here. We're temporarily up. I believe Tyrone is looking more to allow Nathan to grow and develop, and part of that development is obtaining resources.
Finding his way in the world.
Well,
After
that
all,
being the case,
I mean, you give a child a knife. You can kill a cattle for a child, or you can give them a knife and let them do it themselves, and then they know how to hunt. Do they not?
Now it is unfortunate that due to my family's arrangements, I cannot let you stay here at the winery itself. But we have a few other properties around New Haven, used for entertaining, other such things I could get you access to. And you could stay as long as the business partnership continues on, otherwise rent-free.
That would be fantastic.
That's definitely a good start. And that would definitely be very just compensation for starting this up and us facilitating talks on building our relationship and I'll air quote, competing businesses. And I don't think we would even technically be competing in the same sphere even. The mortals have their fine dining establishments, and then there are people who are looking for something that is less than fine, quick service restaurant, so to speak, style.
So the hemoglobin would be the fast food.
Exactly. That
Appealing to a
that
younger
quick and
crowd.
dirty, that quick and dirty, appealing to the younger crew who haven't acquired such eclectic tastes that come with age.
Seems fitting. All right, fine. She walks over and opens a cabinet, dangles around a few sets of keys, takes one off and throws them to Omar. She writes down an address on a slip of paper and pushes it over on the counter.
Great.
Google Map, Google Earth.
Tippy tap tap, tippy tap tap tap.
You see now, New Haven is not exactly New York. It doesn't have, giant skyscrapers, like maybe the best, 10-story buildings, or maybe it's all the higher they really go. But you can see that she owns a floor-sized penthouse
10-story store.
up at the top of
10-story.
one of them. Yeah. So you see she's got a rather decked-out penthouse that... This is a state-of-the-art facility penthouse. You'll find everything there is probably fit for your approval. The windows automatically shade during the day. There are blinds you can pull. The building's infrastructure is set up with the mortal equivalency of the highest speed internet for its patrons.
Very
Should
important.
be everything you need for you and your team to set up and accomplish this task for us.
Fantastic.
You will find that the cellars are stocked with vineyard stock. This is a place that we would occasionally use for entertaining on nights when there are no Elysiums.
Well, we can certainly work out of here, and it will be fantastic as our headquarters.
And we'll see what we can do about getting an invite for you for Elysium, or at least an additional invite.
If you could do that, I would be very honored.
I would almost think that might be a rather valuable thing there.
It certainly would.
Certainly, rent-free is also rather valuable in this town, especially for young and up-and-comers, too. So,
Well,
that's
then this is what we
definitely
shall
understood.
do. I will give you the living space you require so that you do not have to continue to pay boons to Mr. D.K. Moore in order to keep roof over your head and the sun out of your eyes. In exchange, you will build me the iKindred app needed for the vineyard to go to iKindred. In the meantime, I will offer you a minor boon if you are to acquire from an officer of this city an invite for me to attend the Elysium.
We shall definitely endeavor to get that invite to you.
I think we can do it.
Now, those outside of the sect are, of course, only invited by heads of the family or an official city officer.
I'm
hope
sure
you-
we can make it happen.
I hope they don't ask too much of you.
Guess we'll find out.
Yep.
Now, rumor has it, the sheriff is already looking for somebody to do some investigative work. Perhaps you could start with him. I guess one of his deputies has gone missing.
We're pretty good at finding people. We've done it before.
Yep. There are definitely lots of things that happen in the night.
Well, is there any other business then that we must tend to?
I've got one other thing.
So I look around. Now, Does she and the others here, have they kind of kept it in the family? Like they all look like Italian kind of like look to them?
She has darker features.
That's what I'm asking, like, because that's what Giovanni's supposed to be, right?
Right. So by looking around, now that you're in the basement area where the blood wines and everything are kept, you see new sets of pictures.
Okay.
Painted hand portraits that are much older than the framed pictures in the hallway upstairs. And you see they all have, and most of them are, they're all painted. Obviously, they'd have to be, with the exception of maybe some of the newest digital cameras. They would all have to be painted portraits.
Right.
You can tell that just by almost by looking at the dating and the way that the portraits are done and how old they must be, that some of them are definitely centuries old. They all bear the last name Giovanni.
Okay.
But they all bear sort of other names, familial sort of names, as though Giovanni is a name that is somewhat maybe attached to the end of it.
Got it.
It's not a true lineage of family, like straight down a path. It's almost in the same way that the title of like Caesar kind of skips around through a family. Like it can, whichever one, you get kind of the sense by looking at there's like a family tree that they are all definitely a part of. Mm-hmm. And then there's like the linear succession of who gets brought into the family secret, if you will. And much of the rest of the quote-unquote family operates as a normal mortal family would around it, maybe with some varying levels of knowledge as to what is gone on. Maybe some of them are Gould, maybe some of them are, in some other way, shape, or form, completely have no clue what's gone on based. It's almost in the same way that like the mob probably operates to a degree, right? Like there's people in the family and there's those who are like in the family. And so they're the ones who have been brought into kindred society in this family are the made ones, if you will, and the rest of them are
made ones.
Yeah. So and the rest of them are just by association.
What was his brother's name?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You get the idea. Yeah,
Michael's in, but Fernando, I don't remember. It was not
Franco.
Right, Franco.
It wasn't. Was it Franco? The
Yeah,
one
I think
who
that's right.
out on the boat. Anyway.
Yeah. You got the idea. So when she's
Fredo. It was Fredo. That's right.
So when you're looking, around, you get you get this sensation from her talking that she is the most recent one to be brought in to this aspect of the family, because who she calls Mama is not probably her mother,
right?
But is the one who her sire has decided to go underground for a while because the world is passing her by a bit. Yeah. So.
So I look around. I look at all the like guards. They're all in like suits, right? I assume.
Yeah, they're all.
That's what you said.
Like waitstaff sort of suits.
I'm gonna look at her clothing and maybe anybody that's in the room with her that's not just a random guard. I want to use perception finance to determine how nice their suits are.
Perception finance.
I like it. I dig it.
I have never seen you roll anything like this before.
Standard DC of 7.
I have one success.
You have one success.
One success.
Okay. So
it was a second. So bad.
You have seen people in their church clothes.
Yeah.
And you have even seen people who run businesses that are in sales and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
This is most certainly another step above that in quality. This may not be quite like Hollywood level, like A-lister suit and tie. This is probably maybe not like Armani, but it certainly came from something maybe slightly more upscale than a Joseph A. Banks.
Right.
So
they're wearing $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah. It's yeah.
So one other thing.
Hey, Captain.
For us to be really legitimate, I think all of us Plus, our friend Nathan are gonna need a couple of these suits. A piece, probably.
He's getting
Where can we get some of those?
When you get me an invite to the Elysium, I'll have no choice but to dress you up if I'm going to come in on your arm.
Fantastic.
It's true. It'd be
I can't have you showing up like this with me, of course. But
I will definitely show up like this otherwise.
I will take care of all the rest of the accommodations once the invite is secured.
Fantastic. Perception finance. Well, unless my associates have any other things to say, I think we've gotten everything we need here.
I do not have anything to say.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together.
Me too.
You know, Prince Voltaire, before he met his untimely demise, once told my mama that controlling the resources is the very essence, the very center of war. It's the most important thing. So anytime there is about to be a conflict, the most important and first thing you must do is control the flow of resources.
It's always good to be Switzerland.
hence the Pax Neutralis.
Precisely. Because it's
I'm
always important.
looking along the paintings here, and inspired by Omar, I think I'm gonna do a little occult, perception occult, to sit there and see if there's anything I can pick up in the paintings, like jewelry or maybe some arcane symbology.
I dig it.
Because that was so good, I can't just let him have that all by himself. I mean, that is the beauty of storyteller system, right? It's all about figure out a trait, and an attribute and ability, right, and go with it.
Are you rolling this roll 20, or are you rolling it yourself and telling me the results?
I'm gonna roll it myself.
Okay, just making sure. I pulled up roll 20 over there just to make sure that if you were rolling it there, I saw it.
Roll 20 dice are the worst.
They sometimes are.
Sorry, roll 20. Your dice are the worst.
It's true.
But I'm not that sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Standard DC is 7 for everything in my game, unless I tell you otherwise. So
Mini D10s for the win.
that's right.
Right.
See if I can get it to focus.
All right, re-rolling my 10.
They're so small. They're so small.
The tiniest.
Oh my god.
They're so good.
3 successes.
All right, with 3 successes, you start to go back and you start looking, and you see Mama's portrait, and you don't think too much of it, but it's kind of as you get a little closer and you kind of start to look at it, you start to notice something that you couldn't see from afar. There are faint, almost apparition-like images of people kind of obscurely painted into the background. Almost like they're not supposed to be there. Almost in the same way that ghost images appear on pictures that were just taken by accident. Except these were hand-painted. So they have to have been put there on purpose, right? These aren't photographs.
Mm-hmm.
You walk to the next portrait down, Papa. And you can kind of see a similar sort of pattern of these other images that are kind of within the image itself.
Interesting.
It isn't till you get to Great Papa that you finally find the first symbol on a signet ring as he's got his hands folded over a very lavish-looking cane. You've seen that symbol before. It has certainly appeared in textbooks, things that your cult has, not so much textbooks like a school textbook, but in your scripture books, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It is most certainly deals with the art of necromancy.
Hmm. Fascinating. What art? Is this the same artists who did these paintings, or were these?
Oh no, of course not. Some of these paintings are hundreds of years apart.
There's some very interesting techniques that were used in these.
I'm not much of a art scholar, I'm afraid. Perhaps there's well, if Prince Voltaire were still with us, I'm sure you could have a delightful conversation with him over the brushstrokes used in many of these pieces of art, but
Oh yeah, at one stage there were all sorts of things mixed in the paint. Egg whites, blood, many fascinating things to sit there and achieve colors and fastness of colors.
Well, I know very little. Some of these paintings were far outdated myself. If Mama or Papa were around, I'm sure they could tell you more about the techniques that were used, or even the artist who rendered them.
Given that Omar has used perception finance and now perception something else, I want to use perception repair to see if any of these have been damaged by time.
Oh.
Ah.
I'm glad I could be so inspiring.
3 successes.
3 successes.
No,
You're-
sorry, 2. Got a 1 in there. 2 successes.
You can see that the frames do not match the date of the canvases. The frames have been replaced over time on some of the older ones,
Always about the frame.
but the actual canvas and the paint and everything itself seems as though it has not required touch-up.
I know all I need to know. I'll be checking things out. Thank you so much, madam. I'll be bringing the car around, gentlemen.
And
If that's okay with you, Omar.
and as
Sounds
you,
great.
with your perception, as you walk away, second, you glance back, and you're not positive. You're pretty positive that some of the eyes have shifted on the painting.
One of those. One of those.
There's no actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf in this show. You have to tune in next Wednesday to get more actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf action. I'm not saying there won't be cannibals. It just won't be Shia LaBeouf.
Actually, I might be mixing up my memes there. That might be the George Washington.
He's
George
coming.
Washington.
He's coming. He's
I was like, I put it in there. I was like, shit. I
Washington,
think that's
he's
the wrong one.
Washington. Oh, man. I got to listen to that again.
So good.
Oh, you just gave me a gift. That thing is that song. Oh, dude, that
What
guy
if
was
you
made out of
had,
like
37
dicks.
goddamn 37 goddamn dicks.
dicks. That Washington made out of radiation.
11 feet tall, weighs a fucking ton.
He's coming. He's coming, and he's got an axe. He's coming.
So you guys are escorted out of the cellar of the vineyard and up through the actual winery itself, and the two valets are standing there by the doors, and they unlatch the bar and they open up the doors and they motion out.
See you later, everyone.
You come out there to find that your van has been moved and is sitting there waiting for you.
And Eve didn't alert me?
Eve did not alert you.
She's in trouble.
The doors are still locked. 0 mileage has been put on the vehicle.
There's a forklift in the corner.
No,
Oh.
there's a more obvious answer. It's called outrage.
True. It is Giovanni. That's true.
All right.
There's an even more obvious answer.
Technically, she has still done her job.
Which
Or
is the best kind of doing your job.
Eve can drive the car without you.
Oh,
Eve is Tesla, baby.
could drive without you.
No, this is a shitty van on purpose. I don't know that
Hope yours does better than mine. Mine's a prissy bitch. It won't fucking do anything I tell it to sometimes.
All right, well, we drive out of here. This
Under
is
careful observation, I'll even give it with your perception repair. You can see the smallest indentations on the front bumper,
Oh, yeah.
where
Because, you know,
a fairly potent set of hands
on
on the front and back had picked up your van and moved it over here for you.
Fair.
Of the large, gaping maw-like hands of these valets as they stand there idly doing their job.
They weren't gonna drive it over there anyway. They were just gonna pick it up.
don't worry. We didn't scratch the paint.
We got
They
it.
didn't scratch and paint at all.
If he would have scratched the paint, we wouldn't have noticed anyway.
If he does, he'd be swimming with the fishes.
Don't worry.
I'm a
Tasty Cake's motor pool
professional.
leaves something to be desired.
Strong Tony knows how to do this. Bada bing,
All right.
bada boom.
So we let's drive to this new location that's
Hell
supposed to be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you make your way downtown, and one of the more prominent buildings there. You pull up there, and much like the facility you just left, there is a probably less ominous looking valet waiting for you as you come rolling in your rickety van. There is a parking garage attached to the place. He kind of looks at you. Are you a guest here?
I hold up a key with a number.
We stay here now.
Stay here now.
You hear
That's
him.
part of
You hear
I
him
can say all
mumble.
this stuff, but I have a charisma of 4. So
You-
everybody's like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Okay. I just put my finger on what Omar sounds like.
Okay.
Omar vaguely sounds like a bad impression of Stuart from Mad TV.
Oh, a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
We stay here now.
Yeah.
I
I was trying to like notch up the. So I wrote down Michael Keaton on meth at one point, and then the other one I was thinking of was in the movie Garden State when they go to the like hardware store because he's going to return the knives or whatever.
Yeah,
and they meet
yeah.
the guy
Yeah.
that's been into like some sort of multi-level marketing scheme. That was the guy that was in Super Troopers. That was these snozberries taste like snozberries, right? And he's
right.
like,
Yes.
I would like to tell you about a great opportunity for you and your loved one. So, like, it's a little bit of a combination of those.
And here in my head, when you started, Omar, I just wanted vampire ShamWow guy. That was what I was.
A little bit, okay. Yeah.
That's where I thought it was gonna go at first, and he's
Yeah, but-
he's definitely more mellow than the ShamWow
Folks,
guy.
No,
you're gonna
you know
love
what?
my blood sacks.
You're gonna love it.
Gonna love my nuts.
Slapjaw.
So you hear the valet kind of shake his head and mutter something about fucking Airbnbs, and, and he just lets you go on past and go park yourself.
Fantastic.
So you pull up into the parking garage and you find the elevator, and it takes you to a lobby, because it's not the main elevator that takes you all the way up there. This is just like the parking garage elevator that takes you to the main floor, which is always like floor 3. It's never floor 1, for
After
some
we
stupid
get
reason.
inside, what's the security? Is it literally like you go into the elevator and you turn your key and then you can press your number and then it takes you to your place? Is there anything beyond
Once
that?
you get into the actual lobby, which is like floor 2 or 3, right? Like it's like I said, you always have to go up the big steps into the actual lobby, and you get up there and there's staff there that wait for you. And then once you get into the elevator, there seems to be several floors of more common like rooms. It's not exactly a hotel, but it's got kind of that sort of feel to it. There might be offices or whatever there, and you get a sense that most of them don't have keys. You can just hit any once you're here into the building and you made it past like the general getting into the building. Most of them, they can just go to their whatever floor they need to. And then there's like the top 3 to 4 floors have actual keys, one of which is yours is at the top.
Fantastic.
Great.
So we go.
So you turn your key and your button, then after you press it's able to light up and the door's shut. And
So, as this is happening, I go onto my phone and I'm using basically like our secure little DM between the group here. Because I definitely don't say this out loud. Like, we need to convince them that they need to upgrade their security so that we can put in a touch number pad lock system. We give them a certain code that works, but then we use a different code. That way we know if they come into our place or not while we're not here.
What he just said.
And I'll text
now.
back the second. Make sure to sweep. Sometimes the walls have ears.
Yeah, I was thinking
Always.
about that.
Of course.
I want to order through, I don't know. I'm going to go through like a bunch of back channels so it can't be traced to my account, and Eve can help me with that. But basically, I want to get a super large,
Tub of
not a
mayonnaise.
coffin, but I want like an oversized like steamer trunk carrying case kind of thing, where it's about the size of a couch that is lead lined.
lead.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
That sounds like 2 different purchases.
So after doing some searching, the only thing you're
assembly.
able to find that fits the bill is a sensory deprivation chamber.
I want that.
Fucking pricey. Pricey as all get out. You probably don't have that sort of funds right now, but
I will start
But we will
stealing
soon.
funds from somewhere.
I'm going to start scraping off. This is going to be like some Office Space shit. You're just going to take the rolled over pennies and put them
Yeah.
into an account.
I'm basically just gonna like do deep dives of people that I don't really care for and just steal from them.
when you look up the sensory deprivation chamber, you see it says units sold 1.
Meaning, like, okay, what's the company that's selling these things?
You've purchased one before.
God damn it! I look through the history, it's like, it's happening again! Okay, first thing I do is I'm gonna find the sharpest object nearby.
Okay, there's a set of knives in the kitchen area of the.
I shove it in my head!
You stab yourself?
Right in the head!
Strength plus melee? Difficulty 6?
Don't
I'm
get
assuming you
any
can hit
potence.
yourself, so we're just.
Strength plus melee is gonna be 1 die!
Plus 1 for the knife.
Two dice!
Difficulty 6.
Okay. If I fail at this, I'm going to be so goddamn mad.
He bruised himself with a knife.
2 successes.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. That's not how it's supposed
It's a
to work.
5 and a 2.
So 0 successes.
So cafeteria,
I
would like
miss
to know,
my
second,
head?
You
why do you keep purchasing sensory deprivation chambers?
That's an excellent question.
you go to slash at yourself, and you go to stab, and what you realize is that these knives are less pointy than they are slicey. So the attempt to stab really just doesn't do much to you.
Omar!
Yeah, what's the problem?
I see him with a knife holding it to his head. I'm like,
You probably shouldn't do that.
Shut up!
Probably, you'll be okay if you do.
He has to be punished.
That's something you're gonna have to do yourself. I
God
can't
damn it,
help you
Omar.
with
I
that.
will make your life very annoying if you don't do this right now.
You already make my
Second,
life annoying.
what's more important? Subjects in the text that we discussed, or the punishment of the errant one within you?
I appreciate your intelligence, but this is not the time for subtext. I need you to put this in here. Put it in me, Omar.
I can't help you with that.
All right. I am going to. Omar, I need your help, and you're not helping me. And when I say that, I haunt Omar.
Huh? Oh, you mean
I'm immune? I'm not immune.
Nope.
no?
No.
I don't think you are. That's gonna require a PDF I didn't actually get out because I wasn't planning on using real rules today. But here you guys go.
Make added a new quote. Put it in me, Omar.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Put it in me, Omar.
Okay. I believe
Well, at least they didn't
it's
say,
charisma
"Put it in my
empathy,
mouth."
but I'm not
It's
sure.
haunting.
What is your perception plus self-control, Omar?
6.
I roll manipulation subterfuge. Can I pull punches, and how do I do that?
No, you can't pull punches. It's dementate.
There's no such thing.
There's only on or off.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's like potence. It's either on or off.
Dustin,
Yes.
I botch.
You botch.
Oh,
I
boy.
botch.
All right.
So I'm slamming my hands down, and then whatever you say happens, and Omar is none the wiser.
Okay.
I don't
so
understand this guy, but he
Second.
still seems nice.
You're angry. You're trying your best to break Omar's seemingly fragile mind. And right as you're about to pry in there and
Seemingly.
inject some sort of horror into his head, you're initially thinking like re-bringing up to the surface the image of his sire burning like a candle in his front yard after you lit the place on fire. But in the midst of thinking of fires, that's when you remember.
Oh.
That's when you remember purchasing the tank. You purchased it. He said he needed somewhere he could sleep. Somewhere he could sleep quietly. You put it inside the building. You had it delivered. He had you deliver all sorts of things.
Big T?
No. No, this wasn't Taper. No, this was Prince Voltaire.
What?
I am an agent of the prince. Shove this knife in my head.
I'm gonna go check out my room.
Damn it!
You take the knife and you stroll on over there and you put claimsies down on the master room.
Yes.
Omar was up. This one's mine. And just saunters on it.
This looks great.
All of the
I'll be
rooms,
here.
all the rooms are already pretty lavish, but there is one that is obviously the master. It's and it's a little nicer than the others.
I need to bludgeon. I am gonna burn. God damn it!
Do you need self-control?
No, I'm gonna start burning blood to amp up my strength. So I don't know how fast I burn because I don't. We're all
One.
That's Jen. So it's
Yeah,
one
so
per
just one.
scene or one per
It's
what?
one per round.
Per round.
Per
Then I
round.
slowly sit there angry that no one's helping me. God damn it! And I start burning blood. I want to amp up my strength to a 5.
Okay. How much blood is that costing you?
It's cost me 4 blood. So
Okay. That's what I was.
bad.
I mean, you guys aren't in combat
Blood.
rounds. How
No,
much
no,
blood
I
do you have left after you've done that?
No. I'm gonna drop myself down to 4, not 3, because I need to learn from my mistakes.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
So I'm gonna be
Levi
at strength
has-
of 4.
Multiple personalities. Is he in
And
combat
then-
rounds?
And then I'm not gonna make a mistake this time. I'm just twitchy and I'm mad. God damn it! Just trying to ask for help. I help everybody around here, and all I want is help. And nobody's listening to me. They're understanding I'm a liability to myself and everybody around me. And when is a van not a van? When it's a fucking traitor because of the prince. And I take all the steak knives I can find and I bunch them together with duct tape and I set it down till it's like a pointy giant steak knife bouquet.
Thomas, you're seeing this shit. I'll go down.
I'm
And
just
then
like,
find something heavy. I need something heavy. Is there like a cinder block or something heavy in this apartment?
In this lavish apartment.
look,
There's a pedestal, like a marble pedestal, with what you can assume is some sort of sculpture made of metal, and it's dense
Great.
enough. It should do the trick.
Great.
With a flat bottom,
it-
in case you need to bludgeon with it. It's convenient
Great.
handles. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I pick it up, and I'm going to aim real good and hold it to the side of my head and fall on my knife bouquet so it crunches through my brain.
Okay. So let's do a. This seems more like a dexterous thing than a strength related thing. But since you burn for strength, I'll let you have it as strength. We'll go with strength plus brawl.
Strength plus brawl.
Plus 3 dice for the bouquet of knives.
Okay. So that's some 7 dice.
And difficulty 6 for damage, because we're going to assume you can hit yourself. You're relenting to yourself.
Thanks.
So this is not a matter of hitting. This is a matter of just
Okay.
how much damage can you do with this.
So 2
put himself
successes
into
on the
torpor.
first 5.
I did not anticipate, Captain
Die.
Kyrian, that iKindred would be a quote land, like gold mine for quotes.
I only
but
got
we're-
2 successes.
Oh, that's
to hit
2
myself.
lethal damage. You throw
Well,
yourself on there,
okay.
and 2 lethal as blades pierce the side of your face, one coming out your cheek and out your mouth, and another like into your temple, up into your head.
Okay.
And that
I
feels
need a bunch to go up in there.
and that feels really weird.
I know.
Your vision
But
gets a
we're-
little blurry on one side,
Normal isn't working.
and for
Normal is utterly failing, and I will Phineas Gage this problem.
And-
So I'm gonna pick up the statue. While I'm like,
it's about that time that you realize that you've lost a little bit of motor skills on your left side. The blade,
help me!
it's it.
Omar hears him and does not come out of the room.
He's not bleeding.
And then I'm gonna pick it up.
It's
and-
not making. It's not making a mess. It just sounds horrible. He can't. It's stuck in the side of his head, and because he can't use his other arm, he can't pull it out. It's just kind of like he's almost like a turtle that's been tossed on its shell. Like he's like laying on the ground. There's this anchor, and his head can't move, and he's.
I just want to shake.
He's gonna need help, Thomas. I mean, Omar clearly isn't getting anywhere near this.
I mean, I'm not gonna help him with it.
Where's
Psychology can't be.
I go over. I start I just lazily pushed the statue out of his hand that can't
No!
control it anymore.
Too many secrets and I must spill them. I must spill them all. I'm gonna spill all my secrets away.
Now he's.
Are
now
you
he's
sure
like
you
one
want
of
to
the-
sell your secrets when the walls may have ears?
If the secrets come out in liquid form, it's okay. Because we can put them in a bottle.
So
Knife me, Thomas!
Knife me. So after a fair amount of flopping like a fish that's been pulled up onto shore with a hook in its mouth, the hook comes out of his mouth just after a fair amount of flopping around. It works its way out. Like an arm that you've slept on that's been asleep, you slowly start to regain some feeling in your left side again.
That was hard to do.
I don't. Why second?
If I
Why?
told you, then you would know. And if you know, then they might know. And that's why it's a problem. I'm going to have to
Second, what
find
you
a
said to
car.
me- okay, first off, we don't know if the walls have ears and eyes.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Do we trust these ears or eyes any more than we trust anybody else? I just got to say, the faction that we just spoke to, I'm just a little bit more happy with in general. Because at this part, I'm willing to trust a third party over somebody intimate and up close. And I think I'm annoyed with the family. So this third party is more my speed, because at least I understand where they're coming from. And then, is the knife still in while I'm having this conversation?
No, the bouquet of knives has come out.
Damn it! Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The hook came out of the fish's mouth after you flopped around enough.
Okay. So I'm just gonna let it just like drippy drip for a little while. I'm not even gonna heal it. Fuck it. Can I see
I
bright
put
gray
my
matter
hand
in the
on him
mirror?
and force him to spend blood to heal.
Oh,
You can do that.
he has Path of Blood.
God damn it. I can do whatever I want.
I thought about sitting there and bumping up his stamina, but I was like, nah, he's gonna need that to heal.
How much do you make me spend? I'm only down 2 health levels. I'm injured right now.
Yep. So, how much blood would it take to get him up to
It's
full?
one per lethal. Yeah,
One per lethal.
it's one
Yep.
per lethal. If it was bashing damage, you heal 2 for 1.
I am now at 2 blood total.
So you need self-control.
Yes, I do.
I go over to the refrigerator
I get 1
or
success.
whatever
Yeah, there's a
thing they
cellar.
have, because there's probably lots of blood wine in
Oh,
it.
they told you there was. Yeah, there's bottles of the blood wine from the vineyard.
Yep.
From the vineyard there. Yeah.
Yeah, as
Omar
Omar's heading
walks
that
out of
way,
his
I'm
room,
like,
goes to
we
the
need
cellar,
an order.
grabs the bottle, sets it on the table, and walks back into his room.
Omar,
Oh.
Drink that!
Omar, look at me. Omar, I asked you for one thing.
And I refused.
You can't help me with the things that matter, Omar. I can't trust you.
Can I be the judge of what matters? Because I'm not sure you can.
I'll
Perception
crack
is
the wine.
reality.
Second.
Perception
I'll
finance.
crack
reality.
the bottle open. Is it cork or?
It's corked. Which it's already open because Omar opened it first.
Oh, excellent. All right. So,
So yeah, he uncorks it there.
Levi?
With,
or sorry, second.
you give it the second, and second starts to drink.
I don't.
As you're drinking it,
I don't look at Omar. I'm not gonna look at him.
as you're
I
drinking
don't know.
it,
Can you tell I made him spend
you hear
blood?
Prince Voltaire's words. I can trust you. You remember him putting his hand on your shoulder as he said it. You were drinking.
I'm a problem. I am a very big problem.
You see the deprivation chamber close over him. He lays down inside of it, and the door starts to close. He looks at you, and the last thing he says before the door closes: burn it to the ground.
All right, second. Are you back with us now?
My assistant will handle all questions right now. And I point my phone with Eve at Thomas. I get out the laptop, and then I start doing a sweep of if we're being listened to in this place. I want to connect to their systems and find out what kind of security is watching us or listening.
This place has standard cameras throughout the main areas.
Okay. Are we being watched by any security devices? I have security. I have computers. I have repair and stealth. Whatever you. I want to sweep this place to find out what kind of how bugged it is.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and make a intelligence plus security roll then.
Intelligence plus security roll.
DC 7.
Man, if only someone would spend 100 bits and bring out Taper.
4
Perfect timing.
successes total.
Okay, 4 successes. It occurs to you this suite, like many of them, have an intercom system to the front desk. I mean,
Okay.
It's technically two-way. They can buzz you, you can buzz them, you can talk back and forth. It occurs to you that'd be really easy to tap into, though, if there wanted to be some sort of other way that somebody wanted to listen in. There's a speaker there and a microphone, and that could probably be tapped. And then it occurs to you there are a few cameras lurking around in here. Pretty standard for a nice, lavish suite like this. But nonetheless, there are cameras just in the main areas and in the hallways. And there's, about this time, Thomas is watching you do your work, and he's not thinking too much about it, and he catches.
I work one-handed as much as possible, just holding my phone in my periph aimed at Thomas, and it's got Eve's little, it's got a mic set up so he can talk to Eve. And then if I have to put it down to keep working, then I do.
Okay, you guys are. He's holding up his phone, Thomas, and as you look into it, you catch a quick glimpse of your own reflection. You hadn't really seen it in a while. And it isn't until he has to do some work and he has to put Eve down that he turns the phone, and standing right behind you off to the one side is an apparition of another person standing there. You see it clear as day in the reflection in the phone. And you turn, and there's a lady standing there. And she is pointing ominously down at the statue.
Do they look alike?
Who? The
The
lady and the
statue
statue?
and her, yeah.
No. It doesn't appear to be a statue of her.
I'll pick up the statue.
Okay.
Any other pointing?
Points at the pedestal.
I'll do a casual nod, because I'm used to these kind of incursions in my life at times. So, I know to try and play it cool. Omar, we got any towels? I mean, it'd be a shame to sit here and leave this place in a bit of a ramshackle, wouldn't it?
I'm
On
sure
our
we
first
do.
night.
I go to where, like, if there's a little hamper type thing outside the bathroom or whatever, or in the bathroom.
Yep, there is one there.
Comes equipped.
It's fully equipped. All the stuff you'd expect to find in a lavish penthouse suite is here.
Here.
Holds up a blanket or a towel.
Yeah.
Rather.
Excellent. I start wiping the statue off a bit, make sure the base doesn't have anything on it. Like, I know we'd said there was no blood oozing out, but,
Yeah, no, he doesn't
just
bleed.
want to make sure that, we don't have any skin particulate, scalp. And
Yeah, you get a piece of a second's cheek,
Sure.
wiped off.
Yep. And I'll set it back up on the pedestal and kind of casually look the lady's way.
She looks at it, and her kind of hollowed out eyes, you see her mouth kind of distends out lower, and she kind of screeches at you and kind of points at the statue again.
All right. I'll put my hand on it and start like I'm making to pick it up and just kind of like casually like shrug,
She points over towards a mirror. There's a mirror that hangs on the wall.
Gotcha. And if I look into the mirror, do I see, is she able to be seen in the mirror at all, or?
No. But make me an intelligence occult roll.
All right. Oh, especially.
Oh, the grouch couch.
All right, so
Alright.
far I have
Rating.
4 10s.
Oh,
and,
4 10s.
What's my difficulty? And an 8. Was
Well,
it 7?
It was, difficulty was 7. You got 4 10s at 7, so you're, oh man,
And
mommy long
8.
legs.
Another
Thanks,
10.
mommy long legs.
Hey,
I love
thanks.
your
This is
handle.
crap.
It's
That's a good one.
fantastic.
That's a buttload of successes.
Yep, that's okay. One came up a botch on a reroll, so.
Scratch
Takes
Couch
one
showed
away.
up just in time for a buttload.
A buttload.
So yeah,
low.
we're down to 4 successes.
Okay, so at 4 successes, you realize that the orientation of the statue, the way you set it back up on the pedestal, the statue cannot see itself in the mirror.
Oh, okay. So we'll turn it. What do you guys think? I think it's a humanoid type of figure, right? Or is it an
He's
animal?
suddenly Thomas is like moving things around, and he's looking into dead air.
I'm a little
And-
preoccupied and everything with that. I can't judge if he's doing that kind of stuff. I just
Omar,
can't.
you notice.
Okay.
Your friends are both very weird right now, Omar. They're just not built for high society life.
Okay. I didn't think.
Maybe once we get their suits, they'll be better.
Okay.
The clothes
No,
make the man, right?
We, Thomas and I, are loyal to the mission, and I got asshole roommate over here. One thing I asked for.
I don't feel like stabbing you in the head with a bouquet of knives as part of the business plan.
I'll get it turned so it can look at itself in the mirror.
You see the apparition like looks at you, and its mouth, its jaw just kind of goes back up, and it walks over and steps inside of the statue. It kind of passes through you a little as it walks, like you're not there. You feel cold shiver, which are already cold all the time, but it's even colder than you.
I would like to. Can I connect into the security for the whole building, monitor it, and log it all through Eve? And what would that take? And can I do that or no?
I mean, you'd be able to hack into the systems.
Right.
Logging is a little more difficult, but
I just want the system to have a feed that Eve can monitor as long as she wants.
Sure, she can be tapped into it. Yes.
Yeah.
She can't like keep recordings of it all. There's not enough space for all that to go in your device. But yeah, you can definitely tap into it. We're doing great, Grouch Catch. We're playing some Vampire the Masquerade. It's been a very stressful night for a second.
Right.
And
Yeah, you know, Second
right, so-
has not had had enough taper in his life. This session.
No.
I don't
Now's
know
not a
if-
great time for that. That's not a great not a great time for that.
It has been a taperless episode, but we did finally get a ghost haunting, so we're at least
It's
got
true.
that going on.
So, Thomas, I'm coming across more things I didn't know that I did. You know what? We'll pull all of Fresh Blood's management board together to discuss that. I got an idea for a new app. What do we think about a social media app for ghouls so we can hopefully just monitor that as chatter for us and use them as a back channel to whoever they are ghouled by or for?
I think it's a great idea.
I don't want to talk to you.
I still think it's a great idea.
I think it's something we should workshop. And also remember, Omar is our current in onto our potential way out of debt and finding
Omar
our
needs
feet here.
me as much as we need him.
True.
Actually, I'm pretty adept at computers myself.
Shit.
But I really appreciate you on the team.
It's like getting bitch talked to by Mickey Mouse. Thanks, Goofy.
It's Lippy Mickey. Holy shit.
But when Omar says it, literally no malice at all. He's just making a point.
You're just like, oh, I don't think you knew that I'm good at this too. That's why we're friends.
You're not so special after all. Oh man.
Second look. Tell you what do you think? How do you think the statue looks with the, looking into the mirror there?
I think it looks great. I don't care.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So,
I-
any bugs we need to worry about in here?
no.
or-
I'm watching it. I mean, we could be monitored by the more simple ways, but I'm watching everything right now, and right now we're not currently being looked at by anybody.
Mm-hmm. So, were you able to find, did you take a moment to take a look at the Giovanni and see if there's anything we could find through the app or profiles on him?
Shy Daisy. Is your
Thanks
100
for
bits
the
is
bit.
your 100 bits to summon another ghost, or is it to summon a taper? Another ghost.
Oh, God. Yes.
So you get the statue back up on the pedestal, and it's facing into the mirror. And as you're looking around in the mirror, you see a gentleman in a suit walk as though the mirror was a door and there was another room on the other side, but it's not, and it just walks past. Like it's moving from one part of the wall to the other, and you just get to look through the window of the mirror and see it as it walks past. You look, and you realize there's several mirrors throughout this nice, lavish area, and when it gets over, just a few seconds later, you see it pass by another mirror. And it occurs to you, Thomas, the walls in fact do have eyes and ears. This entire penthouse is haunted.
It makes
School
sense.
security.
I just kind of say that like in a side expression.
You see the bouquet of knives still duct taped together, coated in blood. There's blood stains and trails across the floor. Something horrible has happened here. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
And something awful will happen here again.
I just want to say, because I didn't get it out, the name of my social media app for ghouls is going to be Tane, capital R.
Oh, that's fairly close to the one I created for this game initially on my... You weren't there when I made it, were you?
No, I wasn't.
So the chat, you don't know this. So this is fantastic that you decided to independently do this. During one of my Under the Influence sessions, the chat helped me create 100 retainers for an app that I built called Retainer. It's Tinder for retainers, so you swipe left or right on retainers till you get the one you want. So I have a D100 rollable chart for random retainers that you can randomly get on the app until you find one you like. And they all have quirks, stats, and everything already predisposed onto them. So this app already exists.
Okay,
And I thought
I also want it to have its own interconnected function for the ghouls to talk to other ghouls.
Yeah, see that part's
So,
not in
I've
there
got a
yet.
good-
So you can
I
increase
wanted to do
retainers
that.
capability. Okay.
Second, I've got a name for your app. Ghouler. You know, it's kind of like Grinder.
Ghouler.
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 That is better. Damn it.
Ghouler.
I was gonna call it Ghoul, but I like Ghoular better.
Ghouler.
Google is pretty good too.
And
Yeah, but Google implies it's got a search functionality and
That's
it's
true.
a browser,
Right.
and it isn't. So
so on Ghouler, they just find where the nearest available ghoul is, like
Yep.
95 meters from you is.
Uh-huh. Yep. You need a nice, strong hand in your life. Do you require someone to do that heavy lifting?
Yeah.
There you go, Ghouler. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for coming. This has been Chapter 8 of iKindred Prestigiae. And we will be back for this game in 2 weeks for Chapter 9, which I have not yet named. Hopefully, Nathan Sanchez will be back with us. Hopefully, Jeff is able to make that game.
Nathan Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez. I think Grouch Couch should be banned from your channels. They don't know who
No,
Rod
Rod
Stewart
Stewart is.
is. They don't know.
Come on.
They are young. I mean, comparative to us. So.
Oh, come on, man.
Wake
He can't
up,
be
Maggie.
forever young.
Oh.
I think
Well, we're definitely not banning Grouch Couch. They've been long-standing friends of ours here at TT2KB, so they're definitely not banned. But we may have to educate them by posting Rod Stewart Vivo videos
Stewart.
into their Discord for
Rod
the rest of the
Stewart.
night. So we're just gonna
Camera with Rod Stewart.
we're just gonna
Hashtag
flood.
Rod Stewart raid.
I'm in their Discord. I'll flood that thing with some Rod Stewart before we're done. Don't you worry.
I will flood it with Rod Stewart.
We are again back here in 2 weeks for compared to us, yeah. Rod Stewart raid. Man, you know what? You know what? You have inspired me, Buffer, and we are gonna find someone doing some Rod Stewart something on here to raid from here.
Good
in a
luck.
minute. We're gonna make this shit happen. Don't you worry.
So we're just gonna be a gigolo, huh?
Rod
Yep, that's true.
Stewart.
Rod Stewart. Don't forget Faces. He was good in Faces.
Oh man.
Thank you, Captain. We are
Aye.
happy to make you happy.
Well, okay. That search didn't go as well as I was hoping.
I was gonna
But-
say, I'm not gonna be optimistic.
I was gonna
I
check
like
some
it.
music.
Right.
I was going to the music channels to see if I could find somebody with some Rod Stewart anywhere in there. But you know what? Twitch is all that younger crowd. Ain't nobody watching listen to Rod
Nobody.
Stewart in there.
Did you
Nobody
open up
has
the
time for
Goulder app and you found something you weren't looking for?
You know, that's just how it works. So this is iKindred, our Vampire the Masquerade game. It's every other Wednesday, 10 p.m. to midnightish Central Time, and we are most certainly back again. Ooh, boy.
Wait, you guys are down as well.
We are not back until probably Monday, I think. I don't think there's anything until Monday. Me and Jeff and Levi will probably be back for Community Night on Mondays.
Yeah.
I think we're back to 7 Days to Die this coming week. Jeff hopefully has some time to get his creations tweaked. We have...
Yeah, Dirty Sanchez wasn't here
Yeah.
tonight, so he'd better have his stuff ready.
And I can tell you this much: if you are a fan of video games, and if you happen to like survival video games, when 7 Days to Die comes back, we took a week off and played Jackbox on Monday to give Jeff some time to work on his stuff. But some of the things that Jeff is working on is going to make that game special once we have it all working correctly, and a little cost to effectiveness balancing that we're doing.
You know what he's going to have worked on while he's been gone? He's going to have worked on just his character. So now he's like level 120 or something.
No, you know what he did? You know what he did for us, Levi?
Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
We made a pinata.
Ooh.
Did you hear about the pinata?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Jeff can now summon the slowest, weakest zombie ever, but he's worth 1,000,000 XP. And me and you get to kill it just to catch up in level to him. He's just gonna spawn a bunch for us to kill so that we can catch up to him in level. So it's just a pinata that explodes with loot and XP for me and you to kill to catch up.
Fantastic.
That's not anything that the chat will purchase. We just have that shit out there for me and you so we can catch up in level to him. That's the only thing.
That's
So ridiculous.
That's friendship right there. That is real friendship.
He's leveled past us so far into the game. He had to create a loot pinata, an XP pinata for us to catch up. But on top of that, we're working on 7 Days to Die Kaiju. We're working on.
which is
How's that
awesome.
going?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him recently to find out. We're working on 7 Days to Die Jason Voorhees. We got all kinds of cool zombies that we're working on, the ideas that we spawned in our heads to make these things work. We've already got actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf in there, and snake bombs. Oh yeah, it works.
Nice.
And snake bombs, and it's gonna be crazy. So.
Captain wants to know what's the command. I think he wants to spam
Tina
the pinata.
Torment subscribing
Tina
to tier
Torment.
1.
Tina
Thank you.
Torment. Thank you.
So that'll be Monday, 10
Tina's jumping in
p.m.
at the end of the show. She's not even getting good content right now. It's just bullshitting about
Yeah,
stuff.
she's hearing about our content. We're talking about our content.
about
We're
content.
telling Tina what she's getting for her tier 1 sub right now.
That's
and on
right.
Mondays, you get to hang
Just
out with us and
subscribed
play
for
a game.
Commercial. She's
So
watching the Geico commercial. It's like, it's pretty good.
so on Tuesdays, Levi is back on Tuesdays for DM'd art, 7
Man,
p.m.
theoretically,
Theoretically,
right?
I got all this like home improvement bullshit to do, so hopefully I'll be back. We got to see how my floor is done. I'm sanding a floor. It sucks ass.
He's learning karate, Miyagi
By
style.
hand.
Sand the floor.
Yes,
Sand the floor.
Oh.
Y'all
I
missed
would like
on
to be
everything
back
I
next
said.
week. We will see if it happens.
She's just sick on missing stuff.
Oh man,
Well, it's good to have you back.
yeah.
Thank you.
So then Tuesdays, Levi does art for a couple hours, and then at 9 p.m. Central Time, he passes that baton over there to Cameron for Bardic Knowledge, who usually spends that time making some music. Cameron, are you gonna be back this
Great
week?
show.
week?
Magical show.
I hope so. There's a lot of chaos at my place right now, so
How
I'm
we
trying to
get
figure it all out.
Uh,
But I think
You're only
it's-
juggling like two
It's-
giant life stressors.
it's
not just
okay.
one.
It's okay. We're figuring it out. It's all working out. It's just taking a little more of my time than expected. Plus, all of the main things I want to do music-wise, I can't do on stream right now because
Oh man,
secrets. Because dark secrets.
dark secrets.
Music that I want to do right now is all music being
Okay.
made for the next thing after Everstorm.
The big thing
can't
after
give it away.
Everstorm. Now,
I can't give it away.
since we're going to talk a
Can't
little
give
bit
it
about
away.
Everstorm, this Saturday is not Everstorm. They just had
No.
it
It is
last Saturday. Most of them did. Somebody
Thank you,
was an
Captain.
asshole who
I'll-
didn't make it. That was me. So,
Hey, it's okay. You slept. Canon.
Canon.
elves sleep. So what I decided once every 1,000 years or so.
Did we really go Tenacious D on this?
I did.
Did we really?
Once every 1,000 years or so, an elf will take a keen elven nap.
It's very sharp.
But it's only once every 1,000 years an elf has to take a nap for one afternoon. So
It's like Vulcan's the only time they have sex, or Odin when he takes a nap. That's
Yep,
ridiculous.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
So
I'm having a mage flashback.
now
with the,
Everstorm is our 5e
fan.
Dungeons and Dragons game. It's usually about every other Saturday. This time of year gets a little funky with Levi's work schedule and with some of our other schedules with summer. It gets a little funky, so we've been off on that normal rhythm. It'll probably pick back up to a regular rhythm for however few games it has left before it ends, and a new game may begin very soon. So we
I
don't.
do like it. Funky.
I don't know. How do you feeling about the end of this thing so far, Levi? Are you feeling good?
Yes. The funny thing is, I feel we do this show for everybody that wants to watch, but at the same time, my audience is the 5 players, and for me, it's if they're enjoying it. So like, they're very much my friends and clients, because that's my perspective on being a DM. You have clients you're trying to make happy with a great show. So in that sense, I would bounce that question back to you guys.
I
Yeah.
started writing Valorant epilogues the other day in my head.
Oh, nice, nice.
I started writing like what Valorant. I've had some of them since game 13. I've already known what Valorant was going to do kind of at the end.
That's
So
fantastic.
a lot of this goes way
That's
back.
the part that excites me. Like when we get to the end, I would love to. I'm excited to talk about epilogues when we get there, because
Yeah.
the thing is, I feel there are a number of plot threads that might be epilogue plot threads only. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think we as players have kind of discussed that too.
I think
But-
I already know what Timmy's is going to turn out to be. I think.
What's really
We'll see.
interesting too is that as a group, we've done lots of epilogues in the past, but we've never done one on stream.
Yeah.
We've never
That's
gotten to that
true.
point.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. This will be our
Whoa.
first epilogue on stream. Like,
Yeah.
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 it'll be
What we'll
interesting to
do
see.
is, what we'll do.
We gotta have a session that's just epilogue,
Yeah.
basically.
No. Here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is we'll have the last game whenever it occurs. We'll end it, and then we'll say we'll come back at a future date for an epilogue episode, and then in the epilogue episode, you guys will all say your epilogues that we will have together talked about off stream, and then we'll talk about it on stream, and then after that's over with, you guys can ask me questions, and then
Yeah.
we can
like a post
break
game
out
show.
the we could break down the fourth wall, and then the chat can ask questions and ask questions, and then that's always fun too, to postmortem the whole game,
That'd be
because I personally don't love talk shows about the episode right after,
Sure.
right.
because that seems a little.
But the season ending like reunion show for the reality show like
totally
is totally
like,
all right.
I personally never watched Talking Dead, and the
Right.
Critical Role one they do right after one, Talks Machina. I've never watched that one, but when Mercer does his end of campaign wrap up, that's fun because they'll go and answer questions about the
Yeah.
whole big thing. So that's a lot of fun.
And it is interesting, I think, from just a player or DM perspective to like see, like for instance, there's probably a fair amount of things back at game 10 that you thought were going, and then you've molded and tweaked them over time, and see how those things like narratively change.
a lot
like,
of stuff changed in this game because
It
the game
does.
ran really, really long.
And I think that happens
This
with
has
any
turned
game.
this has already turned into a postmortem of Everstorm, so we should hold off on that.
That's
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
Forward.
it's really cool though to see those thought processes. Like, if you ask questions about early games, like where things were going and then where they ended up. So those are kinds of
Yeah,
things
that's
you can
true.
expect
That
to
is
see
true.
Back
on.
boys
true.
are giving away the milk for free. They're not.
No,
giving
we
it
haven't
away.
given away any details about anything yet. We're just saying the kind of
Dark
stuff
secret.
that you'll be able to see.
secret every
Dark
all the
secret.
time.
And maybe somewhere in there we'll get Levi to announce what the next game is, but not yet.
Oh, it's going to be.
You won't
game
get that
one.
today.
That's when he's going to announce it.
Yeah, Levi is
You know
good
he
about
will.
waiting until game one, not
It's
telling
going
you
to
what
be
it is.
just brick
So
background.
we do
like
that.
we did.
We do that on Saturdays around here, but that's not all we do.
Yeah.
Because beyond music and art creation and our D&D game and this game here, opposite Thursdays of this week, so next Thursday, we have our big, dumb, fun Western game. Levi, do you want to say it?
Yeehaw!
That's right. We're using...
Doggies going on a cattle drive.
It's hats. It's Western themed. We're using rules loosely from Ballad of the Pistolero, written by our friend Sean Van Damme. We're loosely
Sean,
using
I don't
them.
know if he's watching episodes, but I kind of feel bad. We're pooping on his rule system a little bit. I did last game a couple times.
The best part is like we're using it. We're just like rebranding a few things in the midst of it. But yeah, it is an interesting system, and we're using it to play a Western game. And you, the chat, have all sorts of abilities to interact with those games. And that's one of the things that we want to do for our community nights, which is our Wednesday game, iKindred here, and our Thursday game next week. That's one game in the middle of the week, each week, where you guys get to come here, throw a few bits around, and have some fun. And then, of course, on community night with me and Jeff on Mondays, you get to interact with the
on
game there.
Yeehaw,
So-
there's a random loot table full of a lot of just not even helpful loot. And there is a calamity table where you can make something terrible happen to everybody. Just one of the calamity rolls permanently removed both of Pan's eyes.
His character's eye, he's blind.
It's not that he's blind. He doesn't have eyeballs anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
And that was just one of the calamity rolls.
Yeah.
Another one made Timmy's mount permanently have fleas, so de facto, so does Timmy.
That's right.
Of course.
Oh, and I think Timmy got cholera from it too.
He did. He got cholera, yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot on that table that's very fun. And then in
Wait,
addition,
someone poisoned the water hole and he got the choleras.
Absolutely.
Actually, that's
It's a-
of the subsection of the table you would like Boffin called feeling a bit, and he got feeling a bit cholera.
Oh shucks, man, that
Yeah.
So it's
the bloody discharge is not good.
Yeah,
It's-
it's not.
Oh,
It's no bueno.
oh.
it's big it's big dumb fun Western style. We got a tour of the little town of Yeehaw last game session. We met a lot of the folks around town. There was some
Yeah.
fights against the Burger King bandits, and we're hunting down them boys of summer. So you can tune in next Thursday at 10 p.m. for that insanity for a couple hours if you want to really crank it up to 11 around here. In the meantime, that is our programming that we have currently. I failed to find us a Rod Stewart raid,
You can never look
and
back.
I'm a little saddened the fact that there's no one out there doing Rod Stewart right now. But
Yeah.
That's
It's-
pretty much to be expected.
it's just a given. So it is what. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm not on raid. Go back to channel. Oh, I can't drive today. Who's letting me drive things? They should know better. Raid. Well, in lieu of a Rod Stewart, there is a friend of the channel here, Ellie Therese, who is doing music. So we're
That's
gonna
true.
raid
He
them.
is doing music.
And it's probably not Rod Stewart, but there's a small chance.
I highly doubt
The 0.001% chance that it's Rod Stewart.
She's
Well,
doing
we
synth
could
stuff.
tie it in with Debbie Gibson from what
Are-
Levi was just
Are
doing.
you suggesting that Rod Stewart can't be sent? I disagree.
Oh no, he can't. But
Oh, Jeffy,
This week on Bardic Knowledge, Cameron does synth Rod Stewart. Tune in. All right, we're gonna go say hi to her. Tell her TTB said you. We'll catch you
Thanks
next
for going
time.
out, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Later, Captain. We love you all.
And we're
Take
gone.
care.
Captain.